Hello folks, it is Typhoon Carter and I bring to you another DPP SPL match. This is a week free showdown between Void of the Wi-Fi Wolfpack and PKeL SweeTforU, also known as John, for the indie scooters. Void is coming in with a win against We Free Kings in week 2, whereas John is a bit off to a slow start. He lost a game against Dredri and that put him at 0-2 for the season. That being said though, let's see if John can maybe finally get a win on the win column and if Void could keep up his good form. That being said, let's hop right into this. 4E lead versus Zapdos lead. Couple things to note here. The Zapdos lead looking like some kind of offensive lead against John's Fortress. However, Zapdos on Void's end could also be defensive. That being said though, offensive Zapdos is not nearly as common as it used to be. It used to be much more of a hot commodity years ago, but it's something that has fallen out of favor partly due to the rise of Clefable, but given John's tendencies to not really love using Clefable, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a more offensive Zap on Void's end, but we don't know for sure. Could also just be like a standard Fizz Dev Zap. As for John's Fortress, Fortress could indicate maybe something like a stall team, which would be a bit of a change up from John's usual repertoire, but could also be something like a suicide lead, like with Focus Sash or like Custap, who knows. Let's just keep going. Switches out, scouts out the Heat Wave, which Void ends up bringing, and Flygon U-turns out. The Starmie scouts out Hidden Power Ice from Zapdos, and the Suicune is in on Void's end, but that's a lot of damage from John's Starmie, but has to switch out in fear of a Hidden Power Electric. And Flygon here opting to Outrage. That looks like CB damage, but it looks like Void might have put a little bit of bulk EVs if John was willing to commit to such a decision to Outrage with Flygon. And doesn't get the kill, and John's Starmie just took unnecessary damage because Hydro Pump let him down yet again, and the Flygon threatening with a kill, so has to go back to 4E, but now back into the same spot he was in turn 1 and brings in Rotom. This probably tells me that John doesn't have a great offensive Zapdos switch. And there's the T-Tar in the back and Rotom going down. So Void is very clearly in the driver's seat, and there's the Lucario, and it's Dark Pulse. A special Lucario, not something you really see nowadays, but John tried to predict something, but was met with a superpower and loses the Lucario for nothing, and has a back Kingdra. Waterfalls the Heatran and gets the flinch, so he might have a chance to pull this back. However, has to keep waterfalling because of the Flygon being a real threat, and Void just Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw Flygon is not exactly common on Choice Scarf sets, but it can be a nice alternative to something, say like Outrage, when you don't like committing to a Outrage lock on Choice Flygon, which can be detrimental sometimes. So against frailer teams, Dragon Claw can sometimes do the trick, and comes in handy here as Void doesn't have to commit to an Outrage now, as John had to go to Fortress, and then brings out the Zapdos, and Fortress gets Stealth Rocks up, but I'm not sure if that's really the play that he can afford to go for, and opts to sack the Starmie. So John probably looking to try to make a last-ditch effort to get the Kingdra in, and brings out Rain Dance. However, the game looks pretty over here, because even if John got the kill there, then Void could just brought the Tyranitar back in and the Kingdra would have just gone down. Or would have had to be weary of Scarf Flygon, but That being said though, the game is pretty much wrapped up and Void's got this in the bag. And Void now moves on to 2-1 and John is still winless, and maybe we'll see if John could try to get a win again. And I think, yeah, John's team was pretty interesting, to be quite honest, because the lead fortress maybe trying to disguise a stall team, which would have been pretty unusual from John to bring, all things considered. Whereas for Void, this was very much a team that was made specifically against John. With the offensive Zapdos, this means that he doesn't really have to respect Clefable as much, or like just something like Blissey, or like just very fat teams in general. And then I think the crucial turns here may have also been the Suicune that looked like it probably put some bulk EVs if it was able to live a Flygon Outrage from that range. And I'm assuming what probably happened was that John assumed that Choice Band Outrage was going to get the job done against Suicune, but apparently it did not. And also the Starmie just missing the Hydro Pumps proved to be quite fatal for John's chances of winning this game. And to be honest, that seems to be a reoccurring theme for him this season, with Hydro Pump just kind of letting him down in general. That being said though, if you guys enjoyed this match, like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys next time.